All right. Welcome, everyone. Happy Friday. We've made it yet again in our week. This week was especially busy with 119 knocking out PRs and critical issues and just a massive amount of involvement from everyone in the community. So thank you very much for your help. As always, you are all fantastic. This is our 119 release team meeting. It is Friday, July 24th. And yeah, hope you all are doing well. This is a Kubernetes meeting, so we abide by the Kubernetes Code of Conduct, which simplifies down to please be excellent to one another. I don't think anyone here will have a problem with that today. Let's get things kicked off with enhancements. Nabarun.
Hello, everyone. I hope you all are having an amazing Friday or starting to have a very good Friday. So enhancements is currently green. We are tracking 34 enhancements, 9 in alpha, 15 in beta, and 10 graduating to stable. Since last update, the only one PR that was flaking out also got merged. And so yeah, enhancements update will be boring from now. So it will be all be green, kind of. Cool.
Awesome. Thank you, Nabarun. Glad to hear it. Any questions for enhancements or for Nabarun? Awesome. Thank you, Nabarun.
Cool. Thanks, everyone.
Let's move into CI Signal with Dan.
Hey, folks. Happy Friday. It's been a crazy week, but we're looking a lot better than we have in a while. We have 0 failing tests on master blocking. If you see kind IPv6 master parallel saying it's failing, that's just because it hasn't run enough times to correct itself. We had a new test merge there that was not passing, so that got reverted. Master alpha features has been green since the merge that fixed that testing issue, which was mainly just around how we were watching for pod deletion. So it wasn't a big deal, but nice to see that green again. Flaky tests are also looking quite a bit better. You'll see that many of them, the frequency of flakes has decreased quite a bit. The main one that we're investigating right now is verify master, just because this has to run on every PR. And right now, if you've been trying to do anything lately, you've probably had to do retest quite a bit on that. So there are a few, there's actually quite a few things that happen on Verify Master that are owned by different SIGs. So we're going to try and split that out into more granular issues so we can get that addressed faster. And also from a CI signal perspective, maybe address some of those things ourselves. But other than that, looking pretty good. Some updates on master informing. So we've talked a few times about the OpenStack conformance job. That runs in a completely separate CI, so it's pretty hard for us to get any insight on how to fix those things. And some of the folks that actually work on the OpenStack stuff don't actually have insight to it either. However, it is back running again as of yesterday, and it's failing right now on dump cluster logs, so that's not a huge deal, but it's good to see that running again. The Cube admin jobs are still failing, or one of them is. There is a fix in place, but we're waiting for someone to get back from PTO to approve the review, because it is kind of like a significant change because they're pulling the etcd image on build. So that'll probably get moved to milestone 1.20 because we're pretty confident in it, but it does kind of like reduce our signal, right? Because that test is not even running quite a few tests there. So a little bit of concern. Windows jobs, we've had a lot more action on that. It seems like some folks from SIG Windows have gotten more involved there. And one of the things we noticed is some of the tests that were removed that we didn't want to run anymore and have been failing, that wasn't being reflected in the job. So we changed the job configuration. That didn't work. Then we realized that the Windows builds are basically happening later. So if we're using the latest from master, it's not actually the latest commit from master, the build that's being used. So that's why those are still being reflected there. So in a few weeks that should pop up, but we want to address the underlying issue as well. And then 1.19 is pretty much the same. Same flaking and failing issues there as you would imagine while we're still in our fast forward phase here. So lots of improvement this week and lots of burn down on some of the issues that have been open for a while. So exciting stuff to see.
Thank you so much, Dan. Yeah, I took a look at the, we'll get to it, but I'm terrible with spoilers. I love throwing them out as soon as I can. With the issues, the critical issues and the PRs, those have been reduced significantly. I'll hold on the number until, tonight at 11, I'll reveal it at the end so that you stick around. But it's just nothing short of incredible burn down. So thank you very much on that front. Any questions for CI Signal or for Dan? Wonderful. Let's move on to, thank you, Dan. Let's move on to bug triage with Vlad.
Hey, nothing much on our side. We are still red, even though we are 12 issues down since Wednesday. We started to play this Guess a SIG game. Guess a SIG is a trademark of Gianluca. So we are going through PRs and issues that have need SIG label and essentially guess a SIG. That's pretty much it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Vlad. If you need any help or phone a friend, I definitely recommend reaching out to Lori Apple. She's been really helpful this week too in terms of running and running in front of that.
Yeah,
so if you need
I
help.
actually saw her on those Slack threads where we vote for a SIG. So
cool. Awesome. Thank you very much, Vlad. Any questions for bug triage or for Vlad? I don't know if any of us know the rules to guess a SIG, but we can try if that's a question. Awesome. Thank you, Vlad. Let's go to Dax with Anna.
Hey everyone, happy Friday. We are green. There has been no changes from last update. Our branch is healthy and we're good from that side.
Fantastic. Thank you, Anna.
Yep.
Any questions for Dax or for Anna? Wonderful. Release notes with Adolfo.
Hi, everyone. So we're green in terms of the notes generation. We've started drafting the Google Doc to what's going to become the final document. So I just had a question regarding what gets included in the final themes. We've been busy contacting the SIGs this week, and last week we only have 4 left to go. And but a couple of questions have come up, mostly regarding what SIGs may or may not suggest to be included in the notes. For example, and it's a good thing that I see someone here from SIG Architecture, because one of the questions came up there. This came from Tim Bannister, and he was asking to include in the notes a mention of required transition, which is a KEP, which is mostly, from what I can gather from it, it's like a policy change to force features to come out of beta sooner, so that they don't languish in beta forever. And while this is not really a feature of the code or artifacts or whatever, it certainly pertains the end users and has come up during the cycle. So I don't know if we're supposed to take those or hand them over to docs or even to comms to be included in the final blog post. I don't know if any of you have any guidance on that. So and I got another similar question from Tim Alker, because they have CubeADM. It's the only in-tree project that they ship with KK as part of the cycle, and they were there was chatter if we should include enhancements to the other projects that they ship. I don't know if any of you have anything to say about those themes.
That's a good question. I don't know off the top of my head, to be honest with you. I think we could always interact with SIG docs and see if they might have any idea on that front. Otherwise, if anyone has any ideas, please
Yeah,
feel
I
free to
got in
share.
contact with Savitha yesterday, and just to let her know our efforts, and we're going to be coordinating a full review of the final document once we get all the six content.
Cool. Cool. Awesome. Thank you, Adolfo. Yeah, if you need any help on that front, I'll ping SIGDocs this morning, and then we can we'll work with Savitha and the team and see how we can knock that out.
All right.
Cool.
Thank you.
Any questions for release notes or Adolfo? Can't ask the bike question. I already asked that one. Thank you, Adolfo. Let's move on to comms with Max.
Hey, so far no real update from the last time. We're waiting for some input from CNCF about the events in the ecosystem and what is all planned around the release date, and better say after the release date. I think we have now pretty good introduction to the release in the release blog itself, and actually just need to tidy up some minor details, and then actually looking forward for gather all the required links, like for the release notes, like for the docs and so on.
Fantastic. Awesome. Thank you, Max. Are there any questions for comms or for Max? Wonderful. Moving on to release branch management. I don't see Carlos on the line. I do know that if Dan, if you can correct me if I'm wrong, that'd be fantastic. I know that Stephen has been hard at work working on the Go 1.15 updates. If you want a wonderful novel experience, I definitely recommend checking out one of the PRs. There's quite a bit of content there, back and forth. Wars with Basil. It's an incredible read. Definitely recommend that you check that out. I'm not sure if there's too much more going on there. I know we'd kind of released RC2 most recently, but I don't believe that there's too much concerning or of note there.
Yeah, I think there might be an accelerated patch for 1.16 coming, but besides that, I don't think there's too much else to report.
Awesome. Keep production boring. I like it. I don't see Tim on the line. I've talked to Tim this week. I know he's also been busy with quite a bit, but he's been the message simplified is keep on keeping on. So I really appreciate his support, and he's been helping people out on one-offs. So thank you so much for that, Tim. Release lead update. The milestones that I have for you haven't changed, which is yet another good thing. August 3rd, Monday, our burn down meetings will start daily. August 6th, we have both the cherry pick deadline, end of day Pacific, and test freeze, end of day Pacific. I'm going to, regarding code thaw, I believe that we are getting very close, if not there already. I definitely want to ping a few more SIGs and just make that kind of a team effort across Kubernetes, make sure that we're in a good state before kind of opening up the gates again. And then I'm going to share my screen to share with you oh, look at that. I just had to happened to have that open. We'll refresh this like any good project manager does before looking at a board. So we can see that we're down to just 4 critical urgent priority tickets. Each of these have assignees, and I took a look at the conversation going on each of these. Everything does look fantastic. And then same here, we have assignees for all of these. Look through these, there is motion going on with each of these tickets. Happy to see things get closed out or moved to 120, kind of following some of the items that we had deemed, good path forward with the community. This one is the giant one, as you can see, just based on the tags alone that Steven's working with. So definitely recommend taking a look at that one if you're so curious. Are there any items that anyone wants to go over, or I know SIG architecture is here, any tickets or anything that we should be concerned about or need to talk more to? Awesome. Silence is golden sometimes. SIG scalability, we don't have an update there, but looking at test grid, it looks like everything is all right. Moving into open discussion, we did add quite a few things this week from the retro, just in terms of, it's always DNS, it's always communication. So a couple items there that we're going to try to work through and talk about in our retro. And any final items, things that anyone wants to bring up? Wonderful. Well, I wish you all a fantastic Friday. I'll see you Monday. Enjoy your weekend, everyone. Have a good one. Thank you so much for your hard work this week. Adios.